Let's go Broncos! What if I told you that the most important player in the Denver Broncos playoff run this season isn't a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a defensive star, but a kicker? Yes, you heard right. The entire weight of Broncos fandom has silently rested on one man's right leg, and most people don't even realize how decisive, accurate, and mentally unwavering he's been all season. We're talking about Will Lutz, the unsung hero, the silent killer, and possibly the reason we're dreaming of the Super Bowl right now. But what really goes on behind the scenes? How does a kicker stay calm when millions are watching, knowing that a single mistake can end the season? What secrets has he shared about pressure, preparation, and redemption? And wait until you hear what he revealed about a specific kick that gave the team the win and gave me chills. But before revealing everything, and believe me, you'll want to know everything, don't forget to click the like button if you've ever yelled at the TV during a last-second goal attempt. And if you're a true Broncos fan who remains loyal no matter what, leave a comment saying, "Go Broncos! We believe in this team." Okay, let's get to the story that might change your perspective on the entire Broncos season. No one expected the Denver Broncos to dominate the AFC West, clinch the top seed in the conference, and suddenly become a team feared in clutch moments. But here we are. And when you talk about clutch, you've got to talk about Will Lutz. This man has delivered game after game, with ice running through his veins and a swagger that only comes from knowing you're about to bury the ball through the uprights. What's wild is how calm he is through all of it. When the Broncos are on defense, he's just another fan on the sideline, soaking in the game like the rest of us. But when the offense starts crossing midfield, that switch flips. He locks in, runs through his process, and waits for the call that could decide it all. Lutz has made it crystal clear, this isn't just another football team. The culture in the locker room is something he noticed from the jump. He's been part of winning organizations before, but there's something different brewing in Denver. He recalls that shift in mentality mid-season, when the team, even down in the third quarter, never doubted they'd come out on top. That's when the belief started to crystallize. And when belief spreads like wildfire in a locker room, that's when magic starts to happen. From top to bottom, it's a group that never panics and always believes it can win. That mindset is why the Broncos have pulled out win after win in tight, one-score games. But let's talk about moments. Will Lutz has had plenty this year. Game winners? He's got them. You probably remember that massive kick against Kansas City. That moment hit differently. He had deja vu as he lined up on the same 25-yard line where a field goal got blocked the year before. But this time, redemption, division win, pressure through the roof, and he nailed it. Lutz says he remembers every detail, even swallowing nervously just before the kick. But he delivered. That's what clutch looks like. That's what Denver has now. A closer, a finisher. And Lutz doesn't take any of it for granted. He's also got the leg. Let's not forget that 57-yarder he nailed in London. Premier League Stadium. Bad weather. Into the wind. And boom, drilled it. That wasn't just another kick. It was a statement. This man could have been playing pro soccer. He had real MLS-level potential. But once he tried kicking a football to one-up his older brother, it was game over. That love for football took over, and here we are. Behind the scenes, the attention to detail is next level. Kicking might seem like a solo job, but it's a full unit effort. The chemistry between Lutz, his holder Mitch, and long snapper Jeremy is rock solid. They trust each other completely. That trust is built from spending nearly every moment together during the week, not just practice reps but through everything. When it's time to deliver, there are no superstitions, just focus and execution. Lutz locks in, watches for Jeremy's finger to come off the turf, and then everything happens in 1.27 to 1.31 seconds. That's all the time it takes to kick the ball and, more importantly, avoid a block. The margin for error is razor thin. And let's not ignore the mind games. The Broncos front office is even strategizing how to distract opposing kickers in the new stadium being planned. President Damani Leach personally asked Lutz what throws off a kicker, because if there's one guy who knows how to stay locked in despite distractions, it's him. But he admitted, yeah, even he notices hands waving in the stands or a fan in the perfect spot wearing orange. That's why he locks in on a single target between the uprights, aim small, miss small. And yeah, sometimes, it's just some random dude in a bright jersey making the difference. Let's talk about toughness, too. Kicking in the NFL isn't just about nerves, it's about the elements. Lutz says the hardest places to kick are AFC and NFC North stadiums, places like Buffalo, Chicago, and Pittsburgh, where the wind is wild and the cold bites. But he also made it clear, practice fields with open wind tunnels are even worse. That's the kind of grind he prepares for. That's the mindset of someone built for deep playoff runs in ugly weather. And while fans dream of fakes and tricks, Lutz is a realist. He's not built for trick plays, and frankly, neither are most kickers. Everyone's stronger, faster, smarter now, so teams rely more on sure things. And when you have a kicker with 99 consecutive extra points nailed, why risk it? Well, Lutz may not be the tallest or the flashiest guy on the field, but his consistency, his clutch gene, and his precision are exactly what make him invaluable to this Broncos team. He kicks around 40 field goals a week, just enough to stay in rhythm, not enough to burn out his leg. That's the balance he's mastered after a decade in the league. And if you're sitting there thinking, absolutely, then you're right in line with what this team believes. Because that confidence you feel, it's exactly what radiates from inside the Broncos locker room. Well, Lutz isn't just another name on the roster, he's a cornerstone of the team's identity this season. The guy who doesn't flinch, who doesn't crack under pressure, and who doesn't miss when it matters. Let's be honest, in today's NFL, where games are more often decided by 3 points or less, having a kicker you can trust is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And for the Broncos, that kicker is Will Lutz. His 99 straight extra points isn't just a fun stat, it's a testament to a level of precision, preparation, and mental toughness that separates the good from the great. And what's wild is that Lutz isn't even doing this with a massive number of kicks per week. He's not out there hitting 100 balls a day. Nah, he's surgical with it. Around 40 kicks per week, fine-tuned to keep the rhythm, protect the leg, and make sure everything lines up perfectly when it's go time on Sundays. That level of experience, knowing exactly how much is enough, how much is too much, that only comes with years in the league. And that's what makes him so valuable. He's not out there just hoping things go well. He knows they will, because he's done the work. The strength staff in Denver deserves credit too. They've built one of the most advanced sports science departments in the league, and symmetry is the name of the game. Lutz talked about how they track the balance between his kicking leg and his plant leg, making sure both sides of his body are equally conditioned to prevent injury and keep performance high. That level of detail is what helps a kicker stay sharp deep into the season, when the cold weather hits and the pressure mounts. He's not just kicking with talent, he's kicking with data, with science, and with intention. But as much as the preparation matters, so does the emotion. That win over the Chiefs? That wasn't just another field goal. That was personal. Lutz relived the exact moment he stepped onto that same 25-yard line where a field goal had been blocked the year before. He looked down, recognized the spot, felt the history creeping in, and then he buried the kick anyway. That's the kind of moment that etches itself into franchise lore. That's the kind of moment that defines a season. And you want moments? How about kicking a season-long 57-yarder in London, under overcast skies, in a stadium known for its brutal wind conditions? Lutz didn't blink. He knew the magnitude of that game. Defensive battle. Tied late, everyone holding their breath. And boom, he delivers again. That was a kick only a few in the league can make. But for Lutz, it's just another day at the office. It's also worth mentioning that Lutz could have taken a different path altogether. The man had real opportunities to play pro soccer. MLS-level talent. He didn't switch to football until high school, when he decided to compete with his older brother. That competitive fire? It never left. It's what fuels him today. And while he could have ended up a punter with the Colts, yes, that was an actual offer, he knew himself well enough to say no. He wasn't built like a traditional punter. He's a kicker through and through, and that self-awareness might be one of the most underrated parts of his success. But even with all the confidence in the world, Lutz stays grounded. He jokes around with teammates, teases punter Riley Dixon about his Australian accent, and remains laser-focused on his job. No superstition, no rituals, just execution. When the call comes, he says a quick line to his long snapper, "Give me something good here," and then it's all business. 1.27 seconds from snap to kick. That's all the time he needs. And now, as the Broncos are the playoffs, all signs point to more high-pressure moments ahead. Denver's path to the Super Bowl won't be easy. There are tough road games looming, cold weather stadiums, brutal wind tunnels, defensive battles. But that's exactly the kind of environment where Lutz thrives. He's kicked in the toughest conditions. He's nailed game winners in the biggest moments. And this team, this city, this entire Broncos country knows it might all come down to his leg. So let me ask you this, Broncos fans. If the Broncos are lining up for a 48-yard field goal to win the AFC Championship, ball on the right hash, wind swirling, and Will Lutz is trotting onto the field, are you standing up? Are you screaming? Are you holding your breath? Because I guarantee you, he isn't. He's locking in. He's focused. And if the season ends with his foot hitting leather, there's no one else I'd rather have out there. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button to support the channel, and check out the next video on your screen right now for more inside stories from this unforgettable Broncos season. Let's ride, Broncos country.